Hey everybody, it's December 22nd and I decided to make a reptile video about my whole entire room. Um, it's probably going to be a pretty long video because I want to go through everything and everybody, and I've had some coffee and it's almost Christmas and I'm in a good mood. So I'm going to start off by saying that, a lot of people are probably going to see this video and be like, she has either too many reptiles and that's crazy, or she has a lot of reptiles and that's pretty awesome. I want to do that. And I just want people to realize that I put a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of patience, a lot of money into having these animals. I don't go to reptile shows and just pick up any animal that I like, that I see. And especially animals that's the first time that I've ever seen them. Most of the animals that I buy at the reptile show I've wanted for quite a long time, and I have researched them, and it's not just an impulse thing here. It's not just I don't have just these animals because I think it's cool, or I do think it's cool, but I've just put a lot of work into it and I love each and every one of them. So with that being said, having this many animals, or even really having reptiles in general, requires you to also have feeders. And when you have this many animals, I say that the feeders are kind of like a pet as well, because even if you don't care about them, you have to care for them. So I'm going to start off with feeders. That's where I keep my dubias. Also a lot of supplies as well. Here's some of my supplies, some springtails. There's a bin with 1/4 crickets back there. And also supplies and feeders back here. So it takes a lot of room to have a lot of reptiles, at least this size of a collection. I mean, if you only have a few reptiles, it's easy to keep a small bin and not very many feeders, but I like to give my reptiles a variety of feeders, and make sure that the feeders are healthy and everything as well. So I also know that people, I have to stop at some point, and so people might say, you have too many reptiles, when are you going to stop? I mean, I get that a lot from my family, but so that's pretty obvious. And speaking of having to stop at some point, I wanted to give a shout out to Ontario Iguanas, because I just bought this sweatshirt from that company. I believe her name is at Robin Small on Instagram. If that's not right, I'll correct it in the comments. But I just love this sweatshirt because it says, "I promise no more reptiles" at the on the front, and then on the back it has the fingers crossed. I thought it was so cute, and I just love this sweatshirt. I haven't worn it yet, but I'm probably gonna wear it on Christmas. So shout out to Ontario Iguanas at Robin Small on Instagram. I kind of want to start with, we'll get into the animals. Some of these animals are like my dream pets that for a long time I really wanted, and I put a lot of money into them. So I'll kind of go through that as I'm going through my animals. So the first part is my tortoises and turtles in this section here. That's Mustard. She was my first tortoise, and she's almost 3 years old now. So yeah, that's her chilling. I just gave her kind of a bath. So actually, I don't really know if it's a her. I assume that from what I read on the internet. So if anybody can tell me. Oh no, she has dirt all in there. So I'll maybe show that later if anybody's interested. But this is my Indian star tortoise habitat, and unfortunately I just got this guy. I call him Chicory. I just got him not too long ago, and he has a respiratory infection. So he's already been to the vet, and he's getting shots and everything. So I'm just praying that he pulls through. He already seems better, and not so many bubbles and clicking and stuff like that. Like when I first brought him home, I noticed that right away, and we made a vet appointment right away. So that's him, and this is one of my dream animals that I feel like I cannot live without, honestly. But yeah, that's Chicory, that's Mustard, and in here is my red-eared slider, Turnip. I don't know where he's at. He's right up there. This is my very first reptile, my very first turtle, and he's been with me for 4 years now. So I love him very dearly. Okay, so that's my turtles. Here are my chameleons. This is York. He's a panther chameleon, nosy Fally. I've had him a year now, and sometimes he loves me, sometimes he doesn't, but I think he's awesome, and he's absolutely gorgeous. Say hi, York. Yeah, sometimes he'll come right out, sometimes it takes him a while, but he likes to hang out sometimes. But now he can go back in. This is my pygmy chameleon, Bruchesia stumphy, I believe is the scientific name. Let's see, I think she was under here. Pretty cool story about her. She was sold to me as a male and ended up laying eggs and had a baby. And I was like, okay, males don't have babies. But let me find her and then I'll show you. Okay, she is right there. She's hard to see sometimes, but yeah, that's one of my pygmy chameleons. And then my other pygmy chameleon is down here. And this is my brevicatus. I think that's how you say it. Some of these scientific names I don't really know how to pronounce. But I haven't had him very long, and he's on the floor because these guys need to be kept real cool. And as you can imagine, this room gets pretty warm with all the lights and stuff, so they need to be kept under 80 degrees, and he doesn't do very well being too warm. He was actually starting to dig, and I've never seen a male chameleon dig, so I've put him on the floor and he's been doing a lot better. So that's Yogurt, by the way. This is Yogurt, and that's Yogurt, or Yoga, my brevicatus. So my chameleons are York, Yogurt, and Yoga. So now I'm going to go through my amphibians. We'll start with my newest one. That is a marbled newt. And I just got him at this past reptile show this past weekend. And I don't have too much in here, just a big water bowl. I want to build a vivarium for him and everything, but I think I'm just going to make sure that he's okay for right now. But he's a very tiny baby. So, and I just think he's really awesome. I'm going to try and get a better picture of him because his colors are the coolest. There he is. He's pretty cool. So that was my marbled newt, and I think I'm going to call him Barf. All of my amphibians start with B, and that is my red salamander, and his name is Boyle. There he is. And these guys are also on the floor as well because they need to be kept very cool. So, okay, so my next amphibian is my first frog. His name is Booger, and he is a white tree frog. And like I said, he's my first frog, so I've had him for like 3 years. And he's climbing up my arm there, but I just love him to death. Okay, my second amphibian is my waxy monkey tree frog. This is Brain, and I got him, I've had him for almost 1.5 years. So I don't handle my animals very often because, you know, it stresses them out. So I hope you can get a pretty good picture. Waxy monkeys are pretty awesome, and he's usually always on display like this during the day. So I just absolutely love it. If you guys have any more questions about anything, you want to know their care about anything, just comment and let me know. This is a waxy monkey tiger leg tree frog, and she is much smaller and she's harder to find, so let me find her. Okay, so there is Burp, and you can see why she's called a tiger leg tree frog. Hopefully that'll focus. Sorry, it's not focusing, it's kind of blurry, but yeah, she's awesome. I was really excited when I found her at a reptile show one time. This is also one of my newer amphibians. It's a yellow spotted climbing toad, and I think I'm gonna call her Bile. She's obviously eaten very, very well for me. And these are pretty cool because the males are darker grayish brownish, and the females are blue with yellow spots, and they're really cool. I've only seen, you know, images of them, pictures of them, but I got her from Josh's Frogs, and they're a really cool company, and they've really been pretty awesome. With that being said, I can't positively say it's a female. I mean, I'm pretty sure from the color, but she's still a juvenile, so I don't know if that's going to change. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a female, but I don't have much experience with these guys. But when I seen them online, the description was they're like the only arboreal toad, and as you can see with my collection here, I really like tree frogs, so I thought she would fit into my collection very well, and I love her. Okay, so in here is my clown tree frog, and he loves to be in there during the day. You really can't see him or his colors very well, but I don't want to disturb him, so that's my clown tree frog, Bozo. I just had to name him Bozo, even though it doesn't quite fit with my theme, because the theme of my frogs is all bees with gross names, you know, Booger, Burp, Bile, you know, so it doesn't quite fit with my theme, but I just thought it was really cute to name a clown tree frog Bozo. So in here is my Amazon milk frog. She's it is a recent addition as well. I've been wanting one of these for the longest time, and I'm so excited to have one right now. He obviously has a water dish, but I had to pull it out in order to even show you it at all, because it hides so well during the day, and then at night it comes out and it's very active, and he or she eats very well for me as well. And its name is Bump. Okay, so that was all my amphibians. So I'm going to move on to my lizards. My very first lizard was my Rankin's dragon, and she's up here. That's her right there. I call her Belly. She's actually had a few different names, but I tried to, at first I didn't realize how many animals I was going to get, of course, and then I started making themes for their names. So these, my lizards have a theme of body parts. So this is Belly. This is my yellow Uromastyx, and his name is Knuckles. And I have a red Uromastyx,